In the previous lesson, we saw how we can prepare for the final render using the different types of lighting, using the environment, using materials, so different type of textures and channels. And we continue to build up this scene right here that we're going to use for exteriors. And then finally, we moved into the interiors and we started to apply also here the materials, check for issues, fixing, and adjusting everything again for the final render. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how we can add more light effects and material effects to a product design rendering. So we're going to start with the product design, and then next we're going to move into the interiors and the exteriors. So let me show you this scene right here, and you can see I created different types of effects. Again, I'm going to show you here how I created this. So these are created with materials essentially, and also I'm going to show you how to play a little bit with light. I'm going to deactivate part of the scene so we can make things a little bit faster, and then we're going to come back to this later. So I'm just going to turn everything off, and you can see this was our setting from the 3-point lighting system lesson. So if you remember, we used the 3-point lighting to set up studio, like photographic studio. So here I want to start with how you can use multiple lights. So for example, here I have 3 different lights, and you can see this setting for the layout is really helpful because I can move and see the light from the top, from the side, and then I can see also the render here. Now you can see that I deleted the other 2. And this one here is an area light, and I changed the shape into a disc, and the size is about 10 centimeters. So remember the size and the spread also in the case of the area light are really important. So usually the spread is really high, like 180, and it's kind of a diffuse type of light. So when you decrease the spread, it's going to be a more concentrated beam light, as you can see here. So if you want to simulate a spotlight using an area, that's the way you can do it. Just drop down the spread, make it smaller in size, and there you go. So I'm not going to show you everything again about the lights because we already talked about this in the 3-point line system lesson. But what I want to add here is, what if you want to create more than one light and you want to manage all of them using only one? So in that case, we're going to do, instead of copying and pasting, you can duplicate. So just do here Shift D, and this is going to be like a duplicated and linked copy. So, well, let me just place it here. If you want to put it in the same line, you press Epsilon and Y. Let me activate also the screencast keys so you can see everything. Okay. So to make it a linked copy, you need to click down here and duplicate it like this. Otherwise, when you copy this, you need to select duplicate linked or Alt D, and then press the Y again, and there you go. So now these 3 are linked together. So if I change the color of one, it's going to affect all the others. And that's really good, again, when you're working with scenes that have many lights. Now be careful not to make too many, because this will get things a lot heavier. Now I also want to show you this other trick. So I created here what they're called like Venetian blinds. So they give you this effect right here, which is pretty cinematographic. And also one thing you may want to do is set up the camera. So I've set up a camera here, and that's really important for the rendering, especially for the final rendering. So I'm just going to delete and show you again. Okay, so if you have more than one camera in the scene, you need to specify which one is the active camera for the rendering. So if I go here and add a camera from this view, this camera will point from the top. You can see there. So if I go in the camera, I will see my scene like from that position, which you can see here, it's pretty awkward. It's pointing down, and well, at least we need to push it up to see something. And it was positioning where the cursor is, where the origin is. So if I go inside the camera, you can see this is going to go from the top. So I'm going to delete it. Instead, if I use the 3D view here, so again, add and camera, now you can see that it's going to go on the ground. And so I need to move it up. And it's kind of here on the back. Again, look how useful is this setting for with the 3D views and the other two here. Okay, now I can go inside and see here what I'm looking at. So let me expand the sidebar here and also the tools. So if I go inside, there you go. This is now what I'm looking at. So I can adjust the position of the camera working with the other two views like this, or I can use directly the view. If I want to use directly the view, you can click here and lock the view to the camera. So when I move into the view, it's also going to affect the camera. And you can do this also in the view section here. When you lock the camera to the view, you can unlock anytime. So setting up the camera is crucial for any type of rendering. Now this is the Venetian blind effect. And you can see I'm using an array with these lights. And that's possible thanks to a trick. By the way, I'm using also an HDRI, but it's really low, just not to have like pitch black situation. So there is some light coming from the environment. Okay, now I'm gonna add a new area light. First of all, you need to position the first light, and usually you wanna rotate it if you want a frontal like this. Okay, and then check where that light is. And if the light is always invisible, so to make it visible, you need to create, like in this case, a square with an emissive material, but we're gonna see emissive material later. Now I want to change this from here to be a rectangle, and you can pick these yellow lines and make it bigger or smaller. Okay, so this is going to be the first light. Now if I render this, you will see that this is going to be really diffuse. So what I want to do is drop down the spread to 0 or to 1 or something really low. So you can see that now that's a really concentrated beam of light. The environment is too high, so I'm gonna put the environment down so that it doesn't interfere and we can understand better what's going on. So maybe 0.05. Okay, so you can see this light simulates a small opening, or some light that comes from outside, kind of a really small window, and you can position it where you want. This is also used in movies and etc, etc. So if I go here, you can see there are no modifiers. So how can I do the array with this? Well, I need to add a single vertex. So you need to go to add and go here, mesh, and pick single vertex and do add single vertex. That's one way you can do it. We need a vertex essentially. You can position it in the same position of the light, or you can leave it whatever you want. That's just going to be for the array. And by the way, if you didn't activate the add-on here, extra mesh objects, which we did in a previous lesson, do it right now if you want to use this technique. Otherwise, it won't be possible. So make sure this one here is installed. Okay, so now that we have aligned the vertex with the light, we need to link them together. So you can select it also from here and make sure the vertex is the active object. And then you can do Control P, or you can right click and link them from here. So just look for the, well, you need to go out the edit mode, select object mode, right click, and then go here to parent and link